Good evening. Welcome to the Late Sesh. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody.
What's happening?
Cheers, everybody.
Hope everybody's doing good. I'm a little tired tonight, but I got some government oasis packed up, so I'm smoking on
man.
that.
Love it.
That's not gonna help you. That's gonna make you more tired.
That is.
I don't know. We'll see. I ate a bunch of chocolate, like a whole chocolate bar.
A whole chocolate bar. Ooh.
I told myself I'd only have half, and then I just ate the whole thing.
I love the government oasis. I love
I'm
it.
talking about full size. There's
Love that and the fatso.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, I had fatso
What's
earlier. That's
Yeah.
why.
like a
I love
pack
that.
of, bro.
That's probably why I've been sleeping so much. Actually, I have been.
love
Yeah,
that,
I'm already
man.
kind of tired, but I was yawning all night. Playing Magic.
Excuse
I
me.
figured out my problem on Magic Spartan. I don't even know if I told you I had a problem. But I was like stuck in tutorial mode. Like I completed everything they offered and it wouldn't allow me to play anything but a bot. And
That's
yeah,
weird.
it was glitchy and I opened so many packs and I was like, what is going on?
So many
And
times.
then well yeah, I found out if you open your little mail thing up there in the top right, it
I
gave
did
me like
that,
30 packs.
Yeah.
But so then I just
That was
clicked.
sweet.
You click account settings and it says skip tutorial. And if you click that, it fixes it. And everything opens up. So now I can play
Oh,
draft
nice.
and all that.
Oh, cool. I don't think I've
Yeah.
done that yet.
Yeah, but everybody online is hard as fuck. And
Everybody is.
and you have to make a deck out of the cards you have. So like it's
So I'm gonna stay in this mode and keep getting decks then. Or keep
well, I
getting
mean you're
cards.
gonna tap out on cards and dice. I get way more experience now
Okay.
playing people.
Maybe I'm doing what you're doing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but
I haven't played in a while. Actually, a couple
yeah.
days.
I haven't played Magic the Gathering since 2007.
We're talking about they got the free online
Yeah,
one.
man.
It's
Yeah,
the same
actually,
thing,
no.
but
I think we did play some online Magic games that were pretty.
yeah,
I was playing back in like the 90s.
Holy shit.
yeah, I've got
When I
his
was playing in
card.
high
I
school.
honestly had never heard of it. Sequence was the first person to tell me about it. I never heard of it before. I was really never into like card games or anything, or alone like the kids would let me play and that kind of thing. So, yeah, I had never heard of it, but I hear there's money in it now.
I mean, not
Yeah,
really.
you
It's like
sell
there's
them, like,
money.
cards,
There's
like
money
those-
in
Collector
casinos,
Yeah,
but there's also a lot of loss in casinos too.
Yeah. I like that little thing you
It's
showed
like
me
that.
last time I was over, though. That was really interesting.
What?
Where it was showing the price of cards and that.
Oh yeah, so Spartan gave me his old cards to look through, and they got now, and we're in the future now. So they got an app called TCG Player, and it literally scans. Open the door. Oh,
Regardless, open the door, man.
I thought I did, but I must not have. Or I double clicked it.
I'm here.
My bad. But
I got
yeah,
I got a new phone tonight, so I'm trying to make sure I'm like up. and
iPhone or
running
Android?
properly.
iPhone.
Yeah, I got an iPhone.
I got
can't-
an
I don't think.
Well, I got an
but
iPhone. He got a Samsung, so we
Android.
both got new ones.
Android.
Yeah,
I
he
know
got-
that app. I don't know if that app's on both, but I know it's on Android.
Oh,
But
nice.
it automatically
I already got the
scans
lid
cards
sticky.
and then just tells you the price that they're going
See a
for
spot.
right now.
Yep.
Product
I'm
punch.
surprised you can hold it at that angle.
Well,
Oh, dude.
I'm watching the grid.
Is it frozen?
No, but this is one of the reasons I'm holding this up is this batter is one of those ones that I've talked about. You can see that drip going. It's one of those
Mhm.
ones where the terps kind of fall out.
Yeah.
And even if you like batter it up like this, you'll still have that terp drip.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
they're
just-
not like watery. Like
No, not
so
like the
like to
Clementine
me
and
that
lime
to me that's
concert.
perfect.
Yeah.
because
This is more like your
you get
rosin.
good terps and
Yeah.
yeah.
You need a little spoon to dab the lime skunk.
I
A little Coke spoon, but
don't know about that, but
you know what I'm talking about.
yeah,
That's,
I mean, I don't, but yeah,
No,
I
you
do.
The house key.
Allegedly.
that stuff's so turkey.
But yeah.
I don't know if that's better than a syringe or not.
Oh,
Yeah,
jeez.
yeah. I don't know.
And of course, I'm talking like a terp syringe or a dart, not like a
Yes.
just for YouTube.
Tire off.
Real quick, while I'm thinking about it, I want to give Jack Greenstock a shout out. He sent out some seeds to some Ohioans, and I got my name in there for some Velvet Punch. He's going to send
Nice.
Nice.
some seeds.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So
Appreciate that.
thanks, Jack, for
That's a good one.
contributing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
We're
I agree with the F1s, so you got the F2s. That'd be
Nice.
cool to see them.
Yeah.
So I don't know as much about the Ohio agriculture industry as I do the Indiana agriculture industry, and I gotta imagine they're very similar, right? Because all I know is the rule is knee high by the 4th of July when it comes to corn in
Oh, yeah.
Michigan.
Yeah.
But when I go down to Indiana and it's the 4th of July, that shit is above my shoulders.
for sure.
Oh yeah.
Now is
So
that all
it's just a longer season or what?
that GMO corn
Monsanto's.
grows huge?
No, it's warmer down there earlier, so they can
Yeah,
plant
it's
more.
definitely there's about a 15 to 20 degree difference down this way, growing temperature wise, season wise. I mean, it was 60 degrees today, so
So when did that phrase come about, though? The knee high by the 4th of July. That was probably
Pull it up, JB.
Before Monsanto's. That was probably when
Oh, I
the
bet, yeah.
corn.
What is it? What is
Probably
this
before
question?
any of
Knee
us.
high
Another
by the
Knee
4th
high
of
by the
July.
4th of July.
Where did that
when
say?
That's the growth
Phrase
rate
come
of corn. It should
Yeah.
be knee high by the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Where did it
get
come
your
from?
searches
When did
mixed.
it start? When did it, like in the
What's the
80s, or
origin?
when did it before that? You know, that was probably when the corn was
What's the origin story?
you know, all
Some
this
say the
chemical-
phrase began during the colonial American days, and it was originally knee high to a man sitting
I know,
on
that's
his
what I'm
horse.
saying. No, I wasn't guessing. I was just saying that's probably part of why it's not, knee high. It's way bigger than that now because
No.
That's
Yeah.
from that's from
Makes
firstchoiceseeds.com.
We don't call it ears to ears.
Yeah, for sure. That's non-GMO varieties knee high by the 4th of
Exactly.
July.
yeah, I mean, I definitely feel like the season down here will definitely be a bit longer to get an outside grow, all the way kind of thing. I think you could definitely get a sativa plant possibly the whole time that you would need it in the Ohio-ish, Indiana
Your growing region.
kind of area kind of
So
thing.
we should blow up Ohio and Indiana with some lime skunk, is what you're
Bring it
Yeah.
on.
I think
Yes.
even the farther south in Cincinnati area would be great areas to grow too.
I mean,
Just,
I've
Oh, yeah,
had
it's-
so many. Everywhere I've gone,
10 degrees
everyone is-
difference.
Everyone
And
is
humid.
talking about it right
Yeah.
now. Everybody's talking about growing. It's not about. I haven't really heard anybody talking about like dispensaries or anything like that. It's everybody that I've talked to wants to grow.
Absolutely.
So I think that's great. So
Yeah,
I'm,
that's awesome.
I'm encouraging it.
Hell yeah.
I think it's a good opportunity to maybe start up a soil selling like indoor grow facility, maybe like where you sell tents and lights and
Yeah, we
Things
don't
like
get.
that,
There's
where you-
nothing around here. Toledo and Fort Wayne are the closest places to go, and I honestly don't even think Fort Wayne has one. I think Toledo's the closest. Shout out Toledo Indoor Grow. They are, I believe, the closest ones I know to go in Ohio. So it would be nice to start something like that up there
I feel like
around
there's a good
here.
opportunity for
Mhm.
stuff like that to be popping up more too in the areas
Yeah.
for sure.
Hopefully it's not just the grow gens and shit.
Well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. It seems like these people, like the MSOs of the indoor gardening, hydro store kind of side of things, it's not like they don't have their eyes on this as well, and
Sure.
they're the type that's going to go in and buy up what already exists. You know what I mean, and maybe expand it or just monopolize it or whatever. So I'm, if there's not much there, then who knows what's going to happen. But
But
yeah.
then it's still the time to do that because then they'll come and buy you up.
Right, exactly.
paid.
It might be a quick, 2-year exit strategy, which is
Yeah.
hell yeah, that's a
Now,
great payday.
Before I left Cincinnati, there were some hydro stores already, up and running for a couple years, doing good. Shout out to Bubbling Bucket. They were one of the places that I always hit up for everything that I needed in town. So there were places already set with things that I needed. So I know others can find those things. So it just is a matter of possibly like getting it more to the rural kind of areas out there. Like city areas, I feel like have gotten those places. Possibly it just needs to be, like I feel like the area around here is very rural, country. So
Even having events at these places, like maybe have Spartan Grown come show us a GML light right there at the facility,
absolutely.
and have everybody come and
Demonstrations,
demonstrate
those kind of things.
Vendor days.
stuff like
Oh,
that.
yeah, man.
Yeah,
For sure.
because
Stuff
it's
like
gonna,
I
because
know.
you just
It's
they're
like-
not just gonna know how to do it. So.
Yeah, I mean, it's I'm sure you'd be more than willing to come down and try to exactly. If we had an event like that.
Now that
whatever,
Ohio is not a red
Just-
state, right?
yeah, you guys come on down.
You can cross the border.
Okay, what I want to know is what can we travel with in your state? So when I'm traveling through your state, how much concentrates can I carry? How much?
15 grams. That's the only thing I know about it.
Yeah,
It's 15 grams of concentrate.
and
That's the-
2.5
I can pick
ounces.
up 2 grams when I leave Michigan. Then that's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, 2.5 ounces of flour is what I know you can
Wait.
have on your person also. So now that might change because, like I said last night, things are kind of. I don't even know what his name is. DeWine. I don't think it's McConnell, Mitch McConnell. I think it's DeWine's trying to rewrite the bill already. So things might be a little tweaked here and there. So we'll see.
Punch him in the face.
Well, either way, it's a step in the right direction.
It is definitely, and and he did say, he, is like, we have heard that the people, we listen. The people want this, so it's coming no matter what they want to say no to. It's coming because the people voted for it. So there's only so much they can restrict within, like I said last night. As long as they keep the 6 plants per person household thing, I'm
Or 12
peachy.
for us.
Well, per person is what I'm getting out. 12 per couple kind of thing. I'm peachy, so
Yeah, that's cool.
yeah. To be told that I can be able to grow at home is I love that. Mm-hmm.
Like it matters.
Not right. Right. Yeah. We're
I
not.
know, but it does.
We're not
feel a little
talking
bit
about
better.
all the under stuff here, but
Feels better. Feels
Shout out to Red. He's out there in the forest. He got a signal. He's able to.
oh
chill along
goodness.
today.
Cheers,
Yeah.
Red.
Say hi to the Squatch out there.
Your family.
Be safe out there.
Yeah.
I was trying to let him know, and okay, he said AT&T. They so I talked to I was kayaking down the river this summer right by where he hunts, and I pulled off at a campground probably a couple miles away, and I'm talking to this lady, just walking her dog, just enjoying her summer at the campground, and she's telling me all about her sons that look like me and her her time spent in Michigan and all this stuff, and and she must have saw me check my phone or something, and she mentioned the cell tower. And I'm like, what tower? Like, I don't have any service. I haven't had service in days, And she points, and I look up, and sure enough, like 8 miles down the river or so, you can see, because we're kind of up high, you can see over the forest line, there's this brand new tower poking up. And I'm like, oh man, like, how am I not getting, pinging off that thing? She's like, well, apparently it's T-Mobile, and it's only T-Mobile. And so maybe they've changed it since or whatever, but like that was like the one tower. And it's funny because if you look on like the Verizon map or the, whatever map, AT&T map or something like that, a lot of these times, like right along the river within about 200 meters north or south, east or west of these rivers, there's just no coverage because they're not putting towers. They just don't need to put a tower over the river, right? And a lot of times it's in like a valley, right? And you get zero coverage. So it's kind of interesting. But it's also cool that he's getting some coverage right now, because I know where he's at. He's deep in that forest. He's in what is that, national or state forest? One of the two or both.
Very hit and miss for cell service up
I
here.
don't know what it is. Hiawatha, right?
No, Hiawatha's in the UP. He'd be in the Huron
Huron
map,
National
but he's on
Forest.
the Huron side, I believe. Osable, like let's see, west of Oscoda ish,
Okay.
maybe like southwest.
Still way north.
Yeah, oh yeah, way north, up northern lower peninsula, I guess.
Yeah, like a little south of me.
South of you, Dan? Okay.
Yeah, a little southeast.
Okay, south of Grayling. All right.
Still along that valley, though.
The
river's 120 miles. What's
Love
that?
Dan and Tara, do you guys have been in? Well, I know you're not both there right now, but you guys are familiar with the northern half, the northern part of the lower peninsula of Michigan. It seems so complicated to say, but you really have to like dial it in there. Oh shit! I just lost my question. It'll come back to you. Hold on.
I'm glad we're not the only ones that do that.
I have to revisit myself many times.
All right, well, I'm going to revisit the story I told several of you in the pre-show and share with everyone here because it was crazy. So I was actually trimming my outdoor Mac. I was trimming it, sitting here, minding my own business. And I start hearing like these noises that aren't familiar noises to me. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Kind of a thing. My neighbor's dog was barking, which usually they don't let that happen for long periods of time. And it's barking and barking and barking. I'm like, what the? Time to check things out. So I shut off. I was listening to music or something. So I shut it all off. And I listened, and I'm still hearing noises. So I put my tray down. I stand up. I walk out into my living room, which faces the front of my house. And it's got big windows. And all I see filling up the hole, because all the lights were off in the house up front. All I see is flashing fucking red and blue lights. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? And I look out and I can see there's a street on the front of my house and the street going down the side. And there's cop cars on the side street and in front of my house. And I counted at least 6 cop cars. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And so I'm peeping through windows until I can make out what's going on. And I see this this pickup truck in the end of one of my neighbor's driveways. And I see a group of police officers there's a field across the street from my house, and it's got tall grass, and they're digging around in the grass. And then I hear this person just hollering, just no words, just like pain, got fucked up. And then 2 ambulances show up. And then finally the person who was hurt got put in the ambulance and they got pulled away. There were 6 cop cars, they all pulled away. Then there was 2 flatbed tow trucks. And one of them backs up to where the cops had been pulled that person out of the weeds. And the other tow truck pulled forward so that it could use its headlights to light up where that truck was backing up. And they end up pulling out this motorcycle, pulling it out in pieces. Oh, and it was like the front, like if you take where the fuel tank starts towards the front and you were to slice it right there forward, so you had like the whole assembly all still put together, the wheel and the handlebars and everything. In fact, they picked it up by the handlebars and wheeled it up to the back of the truck and strapped that on.
Unicycle at that point.
Yeah. And then
sorry to be making jokes. It's not funny.
Yep. And I pulled up the rest of the bike on the back, and it looks like it hit the truck. I mean, there's a big dent in the side of that truck. So that was crazy. That happened right out in front of my damn house. It's like not what I want. The last thing I want to see when I'm trimming and smelling extremely smelling like weed. To come around the corner, still with a glove on my hand, and see flashing lights, and then a lot of them. Yeah, I wasn't thrilled.
I remember my question for Dan and Tara. I've lived here my entire life. I don't know how long you guys have lived here, but I know you're at least somewhat familiar with the northern part of that lower peninsula of Michigan. Before I forget it again, can you possibly remember which is which when it comes to Grayling and Gaylord? I still, for the life of me, cannot remember which one is more north and which one is more south.
Gaylord is more north.
It doesn't help me. That just saying it doesn't help me. I don't know how to remember it.
Gaylord to me has the elk. and the like the shoe carnival. They had a shoe place, so that's how I remember like Gaylord to Grayling. I remember places in Grayling to Gaylord. Gaylord is where you could go to Walmart. There was a Home Depot.
Well, which one is more
Here's
north?
a great way to remember.
Oh,
I live in Grayling, and Grayling comes first. So
right.
if you remember
And
Dankman lives in Grayling, you'll remember that
First
Gaylord,
from which direction?
From south going north.
If you're coming north, you're going to go through.
So Dankman Dan is the dirty south of
Yeah.
Grayling and Gaylord.
Yes.
And he lives in Grayling.
Actually, Gaylord is like my city I go to for.
Well, now you're confusing me. Hold on.
Everything. Yeah. So I mean, you're talking my neck of the woods, bro.
Canoe trip
I know.
country. Hell yeah.
I want to go put my fucking alpine suit on, man. Just kidding. But yeah. So just remember, Dankman lives in Grayling. Grayling would be the most southernest part of those two. Gaylord's always north from Grayling. Both are great cities, man. I love it.
Absolutely.
My first time in Grayling was in the late 90s when we, a bunch of friends, we've gone canoe trip up there, and we've like tried to go every year since. It was like 20 years in a row or something like that. We've done it, and it's awesome up there. And
yeah, we have two absolute fabulous rivers here for kayaking and floating or canoeing, whatever your choice is.
But Gaylord's where we go is the closest place to like get stuff to,
Yeah, Gaylord's a little metropolis.
Is that so? Gaylord is the one with the long, I forget what highway, the exit road that goes on, and that's
32.
Okay, but and then like the mire is at the end of it essentially.
Yeah.
And at the very end of that road is like Boyne City essentially.
Yeah.
Okay.
So get off the Gaylord.
In Boyne.
Yeah.
So I'm more familiar with Gaylord than I am Grayling, I think.
Yeah, because you
probably because it has
Grayling,
more things there.
You in between Gaylord and Grayling is Humblebee. I know you've been to Humblebee before.
Yep. Oh, I've stopped off just to swing by there. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's easy to remember too.
And maybe I don't
know. My mom lives in St. Helens, so she's just south of even you. So, but she's close to you guys.
I lived in St. Helens when I was a young lad. So.
Oh, nice. We've had a
young lad.
We've had a cottage there, and the family has been passed down my whole life since before me. And it was my mom's living in it now, but it's off of a little lake called Mud Lake out there in St. Helens.
Yeah, I know right where Mud Lake is, man. It's a small little world up here, so neighbors, no neighbors, and all that jazz.
Yeah, we definitely appreciated our time up north. That was a great time. Great time. Good people.
Would you go back?
100% in a heartbeat, yes. But
what
not
would it take?
Not a camper.
So it would take a house, basically.
I would love, or not just a house, but a domain other than a camper.
Okay. You guys are hardcore.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like I'm looking at the date right now, and like this is like when we were getting ready to leave the north. We're within like a week of leaving, Kalkaska last year this time right now. So we're a year being back here now, and so it's a little crazy to kind of reflect on everything a year now later.
But look at where you are now. Excuse me. You got Rex Legal down there. Look at
my God, that's crazy. I know.
The resume you have in cannabis is stellar, across the board, from growing to processing, and so
get in from the ground up. That's awesome.
I personally don't want to move in that metric route ever again, but
we'll see. I don't know. I'm still like, I don't know about all that. I don't know if that world's for me still. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, speaking of which, I not to step on any toes or whatever, this is all public information. I got an email today, as many of us do, that have signed up for it, with the whole CRA violations, if you will.
Yeah, they had a good one.
And on that list was Freedom Green Farms.
Look at this.
Among some other people that are in places that I was honestly really surprised to see, to be honest.
Classic Roots was on there.
There was a lot of people.
I didn't see Classic roots on there, and I looked.
Yeah, they were.
Oh,
You
have to remember now, though, that this is a different CRA administration. This is now the cop, for one, and his cop friends. Now they're running it like they're freaking cops, and they're going in there and we're gonna fucking make this legitimate. We're gonna enforce all the rules. So we'll see how well this all shakes out, and see what happens.
Yeah, I don't know. It was definitely interesting.
I did notice this month seemed to have fewer violations than recent previous months. Yeah, that being said, one of the things I look for is anything other than AFS non-compliance is what it's labeled as. And some of the more fun things are like surveillance or marketing, like people putting up billboards where they're either where they're not supposed to or with content they're not supposed
to. Surveillance one's common, man. That one's getting more and more common. So it's like, make sure your surveillance stuff is up, because they want you to pull some pretty old.
They told us to get a new one more camera.
90,
Another camera? Where?
In veg, because they want to be able to see the light. There's like a escape, a emergency door up there.
Oh yeah,
that goes outside. And I guess I don't see the cameras, but I guess you can't see that, but you can see everything else. So
from what I understand, this is a while ago, and I'm sure it's changed. Maybe it hasn't, but originally the rule was anywhere a person could be in the facility, you needed to have a camera that would have them in full view from head to toe. So that means if you're working up high, even up over some lights or something, you need to have cameras up there. If there's like a small corner in which you might be able to just walk around, like you need to have a camera there. It was kind of
where plants are present. I think. I don't think that's everywhere.
Originally, I believe it was the entire facility. Like we're talking 2020.
It wasn't enforced at Mechanical at the beginning years. I can guarantee you that, because they just had them. They didn't have them in every hallway. They didn't have them in storage rooms. Obviously, they didn't have them in the bathrooms.
We don't have one in the break room.
The bathroom. There might not be one in the bathroom.
That's what I'm saying. There's not
violating federal rules at that point.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everywhere there was a plant, like the trim rooms. Everywhere there was a plant, there was cameras.
I mean, they didn't have to bring bags in there. You had to have clear bags. I mean, just really redundant, stupid regulations.
It's stump shut. I'll be honest with you. One of the things we got annoyed with was I left a jar of Government Oasis, my personal shit, on the fucking table. That's unlabeled, even though it's like under 2.5, and so but yeah, so they're getting real nitpicky, but they're
we weren't allowed to bring any non-metric
we could not bring anything
into the facility, and I just personally just don't even want to talk about that shit. Really,
because you just suddenly lose your rights as a medical patient when you fucking walk into.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like, exactly. It's like, well, what do you mean?
Yeah, we definitely.
If you work for Anheuser-Busch factory, you can. If they allowed you to, you could bring a six pack and put it in your locker. But whatever. Yeah. So it's like it's real nitpicky now.
Are we just? I mean, I think it's been this way since the start. I think you're saying it's nitpicky now, but aren't we just completely overregulated from the beginning? Come on, like
it's crazy.
Well, now they're like
pretty much all of us on this panel, except for you, Fergoli, has lived through the fucking bullshit metric over.
Hey, dude, I've been cleared through it. I've done the background checks. I've done the consult. I've not been technically I've been an official employee, I think, at one point, but
I didn't mean to discredit you in any
way. No. Hey, I get you. It's not the same. It's not the same.
But yeah, it's way crazy, and man, when I went there, you just lose your drive. You can lose your drive fast because things aren't.
It's one of those things where a passion can turn into a job, and that's not cool.
That's it. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Yeah.
It can happen suddenly. and it can happen suddenly, and
dude, I know a fan of the show that is actively trying to get a job in this industry, and he's trying to get a job that would lead him to a position where he can be a solventless processor, right? Because that's his passion. That's what he wants to do. Awesome. He's kind of worked from the ground up, like no experience from the base, right? Found one of those crews that like hires out like trimmers, right, to commercial facilities. So he went through and did trimming for a while. Then he got an actual position where he was a grow tech. Then I think he moved up from something from there. But it's just like the people that like him and us that are passionate about this plant they really find like roadblocks along the way, because one of the roadblocks for him was like he opened his mouth and he's like, hey, why are, for one example, why are we have, so many rooms, maybe 4 or 5 rooms, right? Why are we leaving one of our rooms basically empty for almost 2 weeks while we trim, process? Like why isn't someone in here cleaning this so we can get more plants in here so we can be flipping this room? Like he understands it, right? Yeah. Probably from just like watching these shows and stuff, because I don't think he's growing too much on his own, but just educating himself and going out there and putting in the work and putting in the time and the effort to learn about it and understand why these things need to happen, right? Especially from a commercial perspective, that's a lot harder to do, but he went out there and did that. And when you got someone that's green opening their mouth to someone that's like the grow boss, right? Egos get blistered pretty quickly, and it's like, dude's got work ethic. You know what I mean? Like you gotta put your ego aside sometimes and understand that, hey, sometimes there's people here to help you, and I think that delegating is a major thing that probably is not done all that well
in the commercial experience. From my point of view, I don't know about anybody else's, but there's a different SOP there, and the way you do things there may not be the way you do it at home, but you still have to follow the SOPs that are presented to you, even though you may not agree with them. This is their processes, and you have to follow them if you want to maintain that employment
for sure,
whether it be. And I'm just making a
I'm not and I do agree, like you are, that's where it becomes a job, right? Like you're not
and you have people, I've seen it many times, where they come in and they want to question, all right, well, how come we're not scoping trichomes? Well, people are scoping trichomes, but you're not scoping trichomes. We just need you to keep moving leaves and stuff like that. And they don't understand that, or they think that coming in as a tech, you're going to be transplanting and shit, and that's not how it worked where we are. Where we were, you were coming in, you were
picking leaves,
maintaining canopies, and not transplanting plants. That was done by a select few. And everybody had a role, and
I worked very hard to get to that part of transplanting and that kind of thing. So yeah, it took they have to trust you. Yeah, honestly, I mean, it's a trust.
Yeah. So there was a lot of people that came in with high expectations of what growing cannabis in a commercial facility was, or they thought you were just running around getting stoned all over the place, and that's not how it was either.
No.
Or they thought it was just going to be gravy.
We're not smoking while we lollipop.
Yeah. But a lot of people come in and voice their opinions, and that would cause a lot of conflicts between staff, let's say. And if you say the wrong thing to the wrong people, then you would probably be passed over amongst positions and stuff. So it happened, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
What is the turnover rate in these types of facilities? Because it seems like at the lower level, there's
huge.
Actually, I was thinking, it seems like there's a high turnover rate at the lower level, but at the same time, in the stories I've heard, it seems like there's a high turnover rate.
I think it depends on the facility.
Level. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, it really does. I was going to say the important thing to be, I think, successful is just to have a good cohesive team. Yeah. If everybody understands that they're on the same team, then there's really no need for, like what you're saying, for really like the egos and stuff. It's not an ego anymore. You can have a big ego and want to be the best, but you got to be the team's got to be the best. So you get everybody on the team's got to be the best to get there. So, you can have ideas and just talk it out through the team, and everybody will give you the reasons why why you're doing it the way you're doing it. Maybe it was something you didn't think of, and it might be a learning experience too at the same time.
Yeah, I think this industry is having growing pains.
There's a lot of things that don't translate from. I mean, a lot of these guys here could tell you there's a lot of things that work great in the home grow that doesn't work at scale. It's not something you even remotely have the time for, and they're not going to pay extra labor to do it either.
That was another thing that was very hard to teach somebody is scale, and by scale I mean is how much work you have to do in a little bit of time. And how much plants you have to get through in a little bit of time to be efficient, and it's tough. It's very, very tough. And,
is there a point at which this scale goes from craft to commercial, right? Somewhere in between there, this plant becomes a widget. And this is like a business school idea, in that everything you're creating is a widget. It doesn't matter what it is. All these like rules and kind of laws apply to this widget, right? And whether it's manufacturing, sales, marketing, whatever it is, you're producing widgets. At what point do you go from this craft level to
there? I don't think you can ever get that widget, because I've never seen it that repeatable. Even using the same cultivar, you get the same nutrients.
Maybe you have a line of widgets.
Okay, yeah, because you can get wildly different sometimes yields, and you're like, what the fuck? We did nothing different.
Did you notice that seasonal changes in the season would affect
for sure.
100%.
I've always noticed even my home grows that I get way better grows in the wintertime.
I would say, man, once you get above a Class A license, you are no longer boutique, you are no longer craft, you are now full-blown commercial. I know a Class A is commercial, but you know what I'm saying? I think your attention to quality kind of starts to fade out the window after.
I would argue that it's anything past the micro business level at the commercial scale, because then it's entirely in-house and you have full control over it. That doesn't mean you're going to be successful, but that does force you into a craft category. I would say that doesn't mean you can't be craft at the larger levels. I think that's just more of a dividing up of business categories and things like that, where you maybe have like, all right, 10% or 5% of our focus is going to this craft fresh press rosin. You know what I mean? 50% of it is bullshit toll work, and the other 45% is like, I don't know, our B-level stuff. But like, you can divvy it up that way and still produce a craft product. But like at the micro business level, you're almost forced into that category because you are seed to sale, you're soil to oil, you are in control of everything, and that's kind of what that almost is defined to be. I feel like.
I think in that market, that is a quality and location. If you have the proper location, people are going to come. And if you have the quality, they're going to continue to come. And it's crazy because when you ask that question about where is it, and I didn't even think of micro business on the same level as a commercial outfit. When I think of micro businesses, I'm thinking of them more of the same level as a dispensary and stuff. You follow what I'm saying? In my mind,
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that.
Well, and that's the thing. You can be vertically integrated just like a micro business is at that level, right? Just like a micro business. You can have a grow, you can have a dispensary, you can have a processing center, all on the same piece of land. It's just going to be at a much larger scale. That doesn't mean that you're not able to produce a craft product. But I'm just trying to figure out at which, like, where is that kind of, all right, you've gone too far. Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably a rabbit hole, but
it's fitting that I'm wearing
many. Let's touch back on your podcast. Many variables to that question.
There you go.
I don't know if I got in the shot. I can't. I'm not very good
at
the ass shots, but
those are some warm ass sweatshirts, man. I like that.
I'm cooking right now. These monitors.
I was saying, I've got my thinner one on. I'd be dying at that thing.
I wish. What would it take for the micro business license as it stands now? And I'm not talking like the new micro business where you can do everything but process, but you can kind of like buy other people's products and resell them or whatever. I'm talking about like the wine organics of like, what is it, 150 plants, grow them, process them yourself, have a dispensary. It's all on the same lot. What would it take for that to become viable at scale? And by at scale, I mean more than 10 of them in the state. And, I think almost half of them are all in one municipality that specifically catered to it. I think there's, almost all the rest of them divvied up between two others.
If we ever saw federal legalization in interstate commerce, we would definitely see that at scale, because the Philip Morris's, they would be making their own and taking it all over the commercial side. And that's just my opinion on that. I really would like Spartan to run for senator so he can get us that caregiver.
That's what we need.
Caregivers can just
we need Spartan to be in legislation. That's what we need.
Yeah, I'll take that paycheck.
Any medical patient.
Dan, is that micro grow up in Kalkaska still open?
I haven't been to Kalkaska since August.
Okay. Well, it was that one. I don't remember the name. It was up by the gas station.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. But
okay.
I don't.
You don't know. Okay. Know. That's cool.
Yeah. They had like closed and opened and closed again.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure if it is.
I think Chad was in there actually. Got a job.
Figures.
Every time I go up to the UP, or at least as far as Munising, I try to visit the Munising Cannabis Company, which is a micro business up there. And I was disappointed yet pleasantly surprised that the last time I went up there, which was the end of summer and actually at the tail end of a holiday weekend, they were like out of stock. And I'm talking, they had 2 edibles, they had 2 strains of flower.
Damn.
And that was it. They had 4
good for them. Then.
Guys.
That's a good sign.
Yeah,
well, a good bet, I guess, but it's good.
Yeah, good problem to have. But I kind of walked out of there pretty much empty-handed. Like, man, I was kind of trying to support you guys, which I had a little bit more.
What are you gonna buy?
Well, that was one thing. Maybe I misunderstood your question for Gurley, but I was thinking you were asking how can we make. What can we do to get more micro business models to spread across the state?
To make it, business viable.
Okay, yeah. I think what we need to do for that to be viable is the market price for cannabis flower and craft cannabis. The general public has to know that there's value in that, and that's not there yet. The information's not there for them to know that. So they just look at price and they're like, well, look, that's just this percentage, that's this percentage, and I can get it for cheaper way over there. This is the worst deal. I'm gonna go over there.
I know it's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but what did the craft brewery market do 15 years ago to make them so popular? Because Colorado, I think, was initially it. Michigan was not far behind.
Same thing. Yeah, it's the same thing that the micro grows would have to do, and that would have to have a specific strain that's great or wonderful in either medicinal way or whatever way, maybe a unique flavor that nobody else has, you can't get anywhere else. That's going to draw people in that, and continue to grow that and never be out of that one.
don't sell your strain to Philip Morris.
Yeah, and that's what it would take, and then you're going to get bought out eventually by the big guys. But until then,
it sounds greedy, but you'd actually have to just hold on to everything.
So and then if you really wanted to try to guarantee your success, you would get yourself a good breeder or do something.
I got an idea.
And that way nobody has that strain if you don't hunt it.
Well, yeah, exactly. That's how they brew. You can't go get that anywhere else. You got to go to Tallahassee to get whatever's there in Tallahassee.
Exactly.
I forget, but yeah. Here's my idea. You just make microbrew licensing the cheapest ever. So enticing.
It's not the licensing that is the problem. It's the cost of entry and the geographical restrictions that are the problem. So
get rid of those.
Well, okay, so go
What do you
ahead
mean
and
cost
tell
of entry?
go
Buying
ahead
a
the
building
cost of
and stuff?
entry. No, the cost of entry of going and telling. I don't know. This is a. I'm not going to use him as an example. Go tell Hawthorne to reduce the price of their nutrients, while at the same time going and telling Precision Extraction to cut their cost of their closed loop systems by 80%, just because I'm a micro business, and then also go and tell Websterant store that, oh, guess what? You got a micro business here. He needs a massive discount because he needs to be able to compete in this industry. Like, those are the barriers to entry
You're
that
saying
everyone
shit's
has to pay. It's
overpriced?
not overpriced. It's just super expensive.
Well,
So,
that I mean, you're getting into a business.
but we're
Yeah,
talking
but it's
2.6
important that
million,
it's a
dude.
So like
business that
I'm
you can't.
saying, to me, it's expected to have a massive. Most businesses don't see a profit for 2 years or
Yeah,
whatever
but
it
those
is
businesses are
See
able
a
to get.
profit
to
in
claim
5 years.
their
5 years,
those businesses
exactly.
can.
Like that's because they spend a massive amount. A bakery spends a massive amount to make a bakery, even just a small one.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the
but
cost of that. If you're saying overpriced, okay. If there's like, we're green tax, sure, but like,
well, it's also overtaxed at the federal level as well. It's like you can't claim anything as like other businesses can. Even the ones that are failing, they
yeah,
can still claim all their
you're not gonna fix
expenses.
federal.
Well, I'm just you
In
Well,
can.
no,
but that
I'm
is
just
You
another
saying
can. You
it's
could
barrier to
say
entry,
hypothetical. We're
though.
federal.
trying to fix state,
We're
so
saying
like,
hypothetically what we can do. So let's waive that
well, if
federal
we're
line
yeah,
too.
if I can go that far, then yeah, you'd have to fix that. But that's what I'm saying. You have to make it more appealing. It's not appealing. That's
Right.
why you
Here,
don't want one
okay, here's
going on.
the other thing, barriers to entry, right? The other thing is geographical restriction. Here in the state of Michigan, every municipality gets to create the rules for the
Yeah,
licensing system. They also get to decide whether or not they want each category in their municipality. Most of them have said no to micro businesses. Even if they do accept micro businesses, they're limiting them. Not only limiting them via the number of licenses they're allowed, but limiting them to where they're allowed to operate, because we may or may not have a C1D1 system, which is extremely safe, but very scary to the
Oh,
uneducated,
it's a scary name.
councilman. Those things tend to get put in a industrial complex type zoning area, which good luck doing sales there, right? If you're not on a
yeah.
retail area or like one of those main strips at a commercial
I
zoning
mean,
area, you're not going to get a whole lot of exposure. So you need to be marketing directly to the people. You got to do a pull style marketing where you got to get them directly to do. It's an uphill battle the entire way. On top of both the barriers to entry and the I don't know municipality obstacles that exist,
you're just
you
telling me
can
how to
have
fix it.
one license with 150 plants and operate out of one facility. That means you get to grow there, you get to process there, you get to sell there, which is really cool in concept. But when you're tucked in this corner of an industrial zone where no
Yeah.
one's showing up, you can't do any marketing because of the regulations that limit you, and you can't distribute at all, which is the major problem. I mean, there's it's like it's just an uphill battle the entire
She
way. And
said, "What will we do?"
I will
You just
shout out,
mentioned everything.
yeah, there
Every
you
part
go.
of entry, you just said that there's a problem. Let's get rid of those and make it more appealing to people to do.
So
Also, not every micro
subsidize
business is
what
in
I
the
like what
industrial
Bake's
section.
saying.
Hold on, hold on.
No, you hold on. Bake to sing subsidized micro businesses, and I'm all for it.
Whatever.
Hell yeah.
You say that all. I'm saying get rid of the barrier of entry. Everything you're saying is a problem. Why can't we get rid of it if we're going to have a senator? But also, where's Winewood? They're not in the industrial section.
No, that's about location and quality for sure.
Well, and it's up to the municipality. That's the thing.
True.
Each municipality.
That's what I'm saying. So you go and you fix the laws like we talked on other episodes where I don't think municipalities should be able to circumvent state law.
Yeah. Well, fixing laws in some
that is the state
takes
law.
a matter of
do that.
getting
I know, Dan, but we're doing a hypothetical
of people out of office in order to do that. Like
I know we just got. We're talking about getting Spartan in there and changing stuff.
yeah, well, local municipalities.
This is very hypothetical. Let's make sure.
But I'm talking about making the local municipalities not have any power. What's the point of having tier system?
He's gonna have
a neighborhood HOA, and then you got the locality, and then you got the state, then you got the federal.
So the advantage of that is that you have all these little micro versions of government testing different ways of government out and seeing what works. And you can pick from those little.
I think it works at first.
It's working since the beginning. That's how, and they all just copy each other. That's why shit
They
travels
autocorrect too.
See, when we did the MCMA shit, you see how fast we saw the fucking MCMA fucking language almost verbatim travel through all the different localities. It was fucking sickening. But that's all they do is they just hear it from their buddy who's in another one over. Oh, we'll just copy from them. Let's not really do our jobs and be creative and write an actual.
That's what lobbying is. The lobbyists literally pay lawyers to write the laws, and then those lobbyists submit those laws to the desks of the politicians who will co-sponsor, for example, these laws, and then just be like, oh, look what we wrote. Look what came from the office of so-and-so. And then that they get to say, yep, we got some more laws on the books here at the offices of so-and-so. And in reality, it's just, such and such lobbying company.
Yeah, really writing the politicians is, they don't. It doesn't have to be nefarious with lobbyists. If lobbyists offer them a legit bill that they think that they could pass, they're going to jump on that no matter what it is, because that's their clout.
It's points.
That's what they walk around. That's points. I got this bill passed. you've only got one bill passed. I've got 10 bills passed. That's their clout. So they're looking for bills to pass for sure, but it's got to be something that is easy. And
I would vote for Spartan for Senate or whatever if he was running on the platform of being the guy to reduce or get rid of the most bills. So if you could
I'm not going to come up with anything new. I'm just going to go through the old stuff and clean it up.
Yeah, just now strike that. HB 576.9 4.23. Nah, that's no good. Get rid of it.
Oh man, it's this guy again.
Veto. It's Senator Veto Spartan. I mean, I'm down.
I'm the one putting little riders on every bill for weed. It's got nothing to do with what they're doing. They're like passing fucking a road budget or something. I'm like, yeah, but we need a little bit for weed.
We need to think about the fact that these micro businesses need to be subsidized, and 2% to the micro businesses.
Yes.
Why do we have all these rules? Let's just make this a little bit less regulated.
That would be nice.
How about cannabis is as legal as a tomato?
I mean, if just the everyday man could go ahead and read the laws and then go start a business based off those laws without having to hire a army of licensed type people, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and then have the time to actually do all of that on your own. It's just one person and not have to have a team of people.
Yeah.
That'd be excellent. I've done some consults with people for years, and they pulled out before they even had a building. And I'm talking years of just trying to figure it all out.
I like that. Weezen Spartan porks for pot.
Porks for pot.
Yeah, they used to call that like the trimming the pork, like cutting the fat off the bills and stuff.
I'm adding to it, man. Let's get some pork.
I like them. Churros.
Hey, you gotta play by their games. I wonder if there's a rule if you have to wear a suit, because fuck wearing a suit. I just wear a hoodie up in there.
I think there is some decorum rules in most state and probably federal legislatures. And
I know they dig into and see what the letter of the law is and see how funny I can get with it.
Yeah, it's been tested recently. I don't really know the entire story or details, but I'm sure you can figure that out.
What's that mean?
I don't know. Google it on. I think
you don't know. I'm just gonna bring this up,
dude. I'm a headline hoe. Okay, well, hold on. Let me think about this.
Well, what was the fucking headline then? You didn't give me that.
Dude, quit interrupting my thought process, and I'll get it to you. Jeez. Someone in, I think it was Congress. I don't know if it's the Senate, Congress, one of the federal legislative branches.
Oh, federal, not Michigan.
No, it wasn't in Michigan, as far as I'm aware. I mean, maybe it's happened here too, but someone was testing the decorum rules, and it was like this big deal, and it was, I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know
this guy.
Literally headline like.
But he looked like shit. He really did look like shit.
Oh no.
I mean, he was really testing it. I mean, he was looking pretty bad.
Yeah. Had like a newspaper suit on or something, or what?
No, it was just like, I think of the one that I was seeing of it. It was just like sweatpants and a sweatshirt, but it was like weren't even nice. They were like worn up and stuff. They're like worn.
Literally every one of this on this panel has a sweatshirt on right now.
Yeah, but I don't see holes and shit in any of them.
I thought that was long sleeves.
No, I don't.
Look at this one.
I didn't mean to besmirch your clothing options.
You guys have holes in yours?
Well, I gotta get my arms in, dude.
Oh, I like sweatshirts.
And your head.
I get too warm. I gotta wear no sleeves.
It's normally what I do. Just decided to bust out the winewood today.
Nice.
What is your temp? You got your temperature set at some warm? Oh man, I'm not gonna even bring it up. I don't want to get you in trouble, Red.
I'm the person.
Red, you did not turn the temperature up. You're fine. It's good.
It's still 64 degrees, Red. Don't worry about it.
No, I actually prefer to have it lower because I'm always warm. So I like a good 67 for sleep.
Okay, yeah, that is pretty chilly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think we leave it about 67, 68 here too.
Any hotter, and I'm like, I get so warm every night. I just get too warm.
You can always throw another blanket on. Is the way I look at it.
Exactly, and I want to sleep with a blanket and be cozy. Like I'd rather be cozy, so I like it colder.
We go to 65 at night.
Oh, that's chilly, especially right
nice
now.
Sleeping though.
Oh, nice. Right now though, that's chilly.
I could probably do that.
You got a good blanket?
I use one blanket.
But it's a good one?
I don't know, it's a comforter.
Yeah, that's I see. Well, it's like what people do. They make it cold, but then they get under a good blanket system.
Yeah, I got a really good blanket that I do. We do separate blankets because I don't like to share.
That is like the pro tip.
I've got my own blanket. He has his own blanket, and then we do share sometimes like a quilt, but it usually ends up getting kicked onto the floor anyway. So it's just like whatever. But
whose fault is that?
It's
the
usually
kicking
my
on the
quilt
floor.
That's like kicked off onto the floor. But then the damn dogs are such
dogs
bad hogs.
yeah.
Bring it off.
So we got a whole other bed that we have up there. We have 2 queen beds up in this bedroom. We have one bed for the dogs and then one bed for us. But the dogs always still want to come to the bed we're on all the time. It's like, doesn't matter. And it's like, no, get over there.
Why don't you just push them together? You guys can have one big ass.
They are.
They are pushed together.
That's what they are.
They are. But they want to be on me.
They still.
So they're like all up on me on my side. 2 big ass freaking boxers on me. So
yeah.
That's definitely DOG too. We have a king bed. And gets half the bed pretty much. So we share half of a king bed, which is, it's like a fullish queen. So that's fun.
When he leaves in the morning, the dogs are like, oh yeah, we're all over the other bed. They don't even go to the other bed. They're just all over the bed with me. And then they're hogging my space and I'm sideways on the bed at the top looking like a nut. Yeah, it's stupid.
One of these days when I'm filthy rich, I'll invest into a king or a California king. That's actually long enough for me that I don't hit.
Do you have a room big enough for that shit? Jesus.
No, but I touch both the headboard and the footboard of my bed. It's just obnoxious.
Well, that's why you don't need both. Just take one. You don't need both of them. Why are you being so greedy?
What?
Why do you need a headboard and a footboard? Just get rid of the footboard. Keep a headboard and you're good.
My legs are hanging off the bed. That's worse.
Good. You're good.
No,
you're
that's worse.
What's the bed? What is the monster from the under the bed going to get your feet or something?
Probably.
I might. It's called my 2-year-old. She found out how to tickle. It's obnoxious.
Oh, that's too cute.
1 minute to hash time.
Yeah.
Oh.
I legitimately thought that was like 10 minutes ago, but I'm
I did too.
I know, we're so bad. We've been dabbing here too.
I started early. We pressed some of our own flour, actually a little bit ago.
You did.
I pressed some, what was it? The sugar cone. Did like 7 grams. Pressed it. It was about it turned out to be about a gram.
It gave us a whole gram. So.
We didn't weigh it, but by the looks of it, it's about a gram, I'd say.
Definitely a gram.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can eyeball a gram like nobody's business.
That's awesome.
all the way up to 3.5. I gotcha.
All right. There's not a way to blind taste test that, but we're gonna test it.
Oh, honestly, smell, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal on smell.
Shout out Chiba Hawk is where the seed came from. It was a bag seed Chiba Hawk seeds, and the
plant has been very good to us.
Yeah. It's got a great smell.
Oh, it's so good. It's
very
fruity, berry.
Fruity berry.
I don't even want to say it's berry. It's more, I would say, I don't even want to say it's like strawberry cream, but it's more probably strawberry creamish than anything, maybe. Wouldn't you say? I don't know. It's sweet tartish. It's very
there you go.
Sweet tart. I get a very strong, maybe sweet tart smell. If I had to like close my eyes and think about it, I would say sweet tarts. So yeah, it's a really nice plant. It throws down. She is one of the biggest ones in veg that like shoots the fuck off in veg. I mean, I gotta like taper her down. So she's like ready to go, lickety split.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's been really nice. And a bag seed. I mean, I'm like, yeah, let's go.
Take it, right?
Heck yeah.
All right, I'm curious to know what everyone on this panel, if they could just immediately, magically
teleport
a clone into their garden based on flavor. Flavor alone. If you're looking for a specific profile to add to your garden right now, what is it? And I'll start. And I think you guys know me because I brought it up a couple of weeks ago based on the seeds. I'm looking for that grapefruit, like that really sour tart, whatever it's called, grapefruit. I want that really, really grapefruit, just unique flavor. What about you guys?
I want GG4 from Dan. That's the tart profile I'm after.
Nasty Chem D is what I want. The rankest chem out there.
I like that, Dan.
Like right in this moment.
What's that? No, I don't like vomit. I had a vomit white OG once. I could not.
Yeah, no.
That
and trust me, I was after a stanky Chem D with what I got right now, and I kept thinking. I mean, I'm on we're on the 4th time we're growing it out right now. I kind of thought we would maybe get something different. I mean, we've got a couple stinky ones, but they're just not like stank ass.
Yeah, I had a chem cookies I washed one time for our buddy Jerry Annabus, and that was the foulest thing I've ever seen.
That's what I'm after right there. That's why I hung on to this long. That's what I'm after. It was so
when
good.
You're chopping up onions, it actually brought tears to my eyes washing this cannabis. It was
he did. He had a great
horrible. Horrible, but it was so good.
So I don't know, we'll see. Dan's getting ready to wash our chem cookies here soon, so you never know. Maybe he'll get something out of it that we're not getting. I'm hopeful. I'm not that hopeful, but I am hopeful.
The bags will tell. They don't lie.
Yeah.
Tara, unfortunately, it was for a client, so I won't be able to share, but I just did 3 batches of GG4 resin. Dank fan, I'm loving it. Dude, chem would probably be second behind grapefruit for me. Just something like super, super chemi. I missed that line. Spartan, what do you got?
Looking for a pineapple still. Looking for Space Queen. Backing up the lineage of Vortex, one of the parent plants of Vortex and Chernobyl and Cuvée, all plants that I loved. All have a similar taste, and it's got to be that Space Queen because that's the similar link. So now I'm looking for Space Queen.
And now are those all subcool genetics?
Yes. Yep. And
Still available or no, or just through sources?
Yeah, what if someone like reached out and had a pack?
Yeah,
that's one of them to be like, I heard Spartan, blah blah
blah. What they reach out and what do you mean?
They got a pack of one of those like seeds, like still stapled in that TGA or TGA pack. You know what I'm saying?
I'd be like, sweet man, you should pop those.
So you want to cut? You don't want to pop some seeds or what?
I would love to pop them if they want to give them to me, but I'm not gonna pay for seeds.
I mean, to be fair, I said if we could teleport a clone inside. So yeah.
Durban poison. I picked Durban poison.
Yeah, he's a huge liker of Durban poison.
I love Durban too. I'm a big fan. I wouldn't scoff at a Durban.
No,
they're not fun to grow from what I hear, but they're fun to smoke.
That one usually puts me in check though. That's a one drop cookie line kind of situation that makes Tara go whoa.
Love the flavor, it's
great flavor. Wonderful.
It's like a unique flavor. I really love it.
Definitely.
Anise or whatever, grape or what's anise? That's licorice, like licorice.
Oh, I love the anise. I do love that.
I get that in Durban.
One of my favorites, but I get that in GG4 though. I get anise in GG4. Yeah.
I get more on the pine notes on GG4.
Oh, I don't at all.
I'll have GG4 carts this weekend.
Ooh,
nice.
Yes.
Yummy.
I'm so excited.
Becca, what about you? What if you could just teleport a certain flavor or terp profile, strain, whatever, cut into your garden? What would it be? Sorry, DOG.
He's a little loud. I have really been enjoying some of our old Gorilla Breath, so I think something like in the breath range, Gorilla. DOG.
Your guys' Gorilla Breath is great.
We got rid of it, so we've got some seeds.
Great.
Stop. Sorry.
It's okay. Have you had a meat breath from 321?
I have.
It's a stanky one. Like I get that breath line is unique in and of itself.
Yeah, that's a good one. What's the one that we got from Big Jar? It's meat breath and from Eloquent. Oh darn it! It's meat breath and like a lime something. I think. Darn it! I can't remember what it is. I got it in the other room. I'm waiting to pop those. Those are going to be a good one.
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called.
Meat breath and something lime. Oh, darn it!
Gorilla lime.
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Baked. While she's looking for it, I mean, I swear to God, if you say anything GMO related, I'm gonna leave this chat.
No, I don't think I'd do that. But I did see some seeds the other day. That was GMO times 4DD, which is like just, it's like a bunch of the chems, the famous chems. I think right now, if I had to, I want to pick multiple stuff. So I'd say like real good OG Kush, something like that, which is kind of chem related. And then if I could emulate something, man, if I could get literally a blue raspberry blow pop smell.
Oh wow, okay.
That'd be cool.
Do you know of any strains out there that are carrying that like terp profile?
Not that, no.
Sick.
Not really. Yeah, I'd probably have to hunt some blueberries and stuff.
That's weird because blue raz is not even something from nature, so that's what I'm
saying. It's artificial as hell.
But that's the thing, cannabis, man. It'll produce. It's like somehow it produces every smell. Somehow it's like all of the terpenes are in that plant, or at least have the genetic capacity to be there at some point in some strain, in some phenotype, in some combination that's going to create some new smell every freaking time. It just blows my mind.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh, that was really weird watching Becca and Tara come in at the same time.
All right, I found it. Okay, so it's Lime Breath Reserve F2, and it's Meat Breath crossed with BLR, Black Lime Reserve. And this
pop them. Shit.
Yeah.
eloquent. I can't read it. Damn it. I'm so blind. Sorry. I think it's eloquent.
Excellent.
Oh, I can't. I'm blind. Jesus God, it's terrible. Don't get old.
Yes.
You're wearing glasses too. That doesn't say much for your glasses.
Eclectic elegance.
And I have bifocals.
Oh my goodness.
ECLEC, eclectic.
Eclectic elegance.
Eclectic elegance, yes.
Yeah, sorry.
Say it again. Nutri.
Yeah, say it again. Eclectic.
Oh,
Okay.
hold on. See, it's so bad. It's like shiny and there's a reflection. It's so bad.
Oh, we get it.
Yeah,
that sounds good though.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, eclectic elegance. That's what it is.
It's hard to say. I mean,
yeah, got it from Big Jar Grows. Thank you so much. And I'm definitely popping these. And I have had it. He has popped them himself and grew it out, and it was good. But I'm looking for strength right now, if anything, at this point. You know, after everything we've got going now, I feel like I've been growing for I really don't want to say this, but I feel like I've been growing for everybody else but myself. And I didn't really realize it until not that long ago. I was like looking over everything that I have, and I'm like, that's not for me. That's not for me. This is not for me. What's for me? So, yeah, we're getting ready to pop some stuff that's going to be for me. Sorry. Because I just need some strengthy things. And I think I realized it once I had Bakes, Fatso, and Government Oasis. That was my real thing that said to me, I do not have any strength for me. I have terps. I got terpy stuff. But I don't have any, like, Terra.
Knockouts. So you're saying it was the other two, not Triple Burger? Because Triple Burger makes me feel that way. It's like, man,
the Triple Burger is so great. I love.
Yeah, that's the number one review.
But
is
the
the
flour that I got from him, I haven't had his Triple Burger flour, but I got Fatso and the Government Oasis and flour, and that is honestly been very, very great for me right now. Besides the Triple Burger.
Yeah, concentrate. I mean, different thing. You can't really. It's like apples and oranges, right?
I mean. We went through everything we got from him already. We're bankrupt, so that shows you how much.
That's why I pressed the flour earlier.
Yeah. So, but
so
yeah, I definitely realize I don't have flour for myself anymore. It's for everybody else that I'm growing for, and I need to grow something for myself.
Between the Government Oasis and the Fatso, which one did you feel like was the better high for you?
That one was hard. The Government Oasis actually is the one that I keep going to like.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
I love the Fatso though.
I like the Fatso too.
I choose the Fatso, but like they're both good.
Kind of thing, but the Government Oasis, that's the one when I get up in the middle of the night and I need to get back to bed. That's the one that gets me back to bed.
All right, I've got another question for everyone on that topic. What was the last strain you guys grew from seed and then turned into a mother because it was that worth keeping? I guess mine would have been Grape Fun Dip, which is kind of still in process, but
Triple Burger. I got 4 or 5 mothers, but I'm trying to narrow it down.
Everything we've seeded out, we kept. I mean, well, I take that back. The only thing we haven't kept is the New England Hazy Kush and the Meathead cross from Caribou Heart. Those are the only 2 we have not kept. Everything else we've kept. So Storm Shadow just throws down. I got to keep that. That bitch is like all day long.
Bang.
Yeah.
The last one for me is OG Mac from Grower One. You know, I have a lot of good luck with his genetics, man. I like him. But we had 2 potential ones, and we kept one around. So we got keep.
Good luck as in they're fitting as washers, or good luck as in you just good, good growing
just good quality plant growth.
I would agree with them.
Stability in them. I don't see a lot of herms. Just good, overall good breeding.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And, there's a lot of winners in his pack, and it's hard to decipher. Some are just so photogenic, and, man, this OG Mac we have is really nice. I That's
a good one.
It's something special. It's got kind of like the Mac Terps a little bit, but it definitely is not shy of light, and it's a really good plant. We'll keep it around for a little while. But always excited to pop more.
Definitely.
I think my last one I kept that I grew from seed that I was like, oh yeah, I'm keeping this one. That was Vortex, I'd say.
Yeah.
We did an Apollo 13 this summer, and we just took clones off of it for the first time.
Oh my god, I love it.
Nice. That's old as shit.
Yeah.
I saw her when she was this big.
Yeah, she hasn't been in the best of circumstances. She's been at the house, and
no, I think her circumstances are really good. You're cutting yourself short.
Something happened with her the lighting. It was not set up right, so the plant was getting the same light as little vegetables, and it was made them all flower. So it's like re-vegging. So that's a new thing for us too. So
I did the same thing. I let my one of my veg lights. I don't know. I adjusted the timer and I didn't adjust it right, and it was closer to 14 hours a day than it was 18 hours a day.
That's scary.
And after about 2 weeks, all of a sudden I walk in, I'm like, why is this shit exploding? I mean, the growth of everything was like crazy. Yeah, well, it wasn't quite bolted yet, but it was getting there. And so, of course, I figured out very quickly. And you turn into this like half-ass re-veg type situation. I don't even know how to explain it, because it's almost like you just boosted growth on everything. I mean, it was great for, I guess, taking clones after you let them veg for a little bit longer, get them adjusted back to, I actually went to 20-4, not 24, but 20 on, 4 off after that, because I kind of panicked and I'm like, these need to get back into veg mode ASAP, but took a bunch of clones and everything's fine now. But yeah, that was kind of a wild experience. Whoops.
It's a great topic that kind of just recently happened. What do you guys do with your flower rooms and veg rooms when you have the light change, the time change? Are you guys adjusting your...
I literally today went through this again, and I know that daylight savings was basically 2 weeks ago. I walked into my flower room and I'm like, why are the lights on early?
I just realized it today too. I was like,
this is like the third time
I looked at him and I was like, what the fuck is wrong?
Yeah. I'm like, oh god, check the pulse. Make sure the graphs are fine. There's not light leaks. There's not lights turning on in the middle of the night. Well, I'm not hurrying out my whole grow room.
Thank you.
Holy shit! And then I look at the troll.
I had to calm her down. And say,
I was like, oh my god, what is wrong?
So what do you guys do?
Nothing.
We just left it.
I left it. We just left it.
Yeah. Especially since I didn't realize it happened.
Yeah, I left it.
Here's the thing, especially with mechanical timers. If you're operating on those in like a small, grow room caregiver type situation, just leave those. But even with the digital timers, it just gets too good. You're gonna be too high and you're gonna fuck something up. Just leave it. Just leave it.
Leave it go.
I hate changing shit. Changing shit sucks. Hate it.
I'm pretty sure red has to go in for each light or each like system group of lights and just open it so that it changes its time to match the time change. So I think ours do change, but it's not by.
He likes them specifically at a certain time. I get it. I get it, especially from a commercial standpoint where you're especially if you have employees or something like that, you might have to actually keep things tight like that. My thinking is with daylight savings and where we're at in Michigan, it gets cooler a lot quicker in the day than it does during the summer, right? While we're in wintertime and this time of the year. So if the sun's going down and it's pretty much pitch black at 5 o'clock, I think it's okay if your lights go on an hour earlier, because you're probably not going to be battling that outdoor heat like you would be in the summertime. That's probably why you run them at 7 or 8 or 9 o'clock at night, right? Because you're not going to be battling that heat. Also, because you might be getting charged more for daytime electric usage. But Besides those points, like I find the easiest thing to do and least confusing thing to do is just leave it and maybe adjust your work schedule by a half an hour or not at all. You don't really got to do much.
Right on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, obviously, I didn't change anything about what I was doing.
Yeah, you find out 2 weeks later that you forgot. It's like,
well, there's people I ask all the time, and I say if you have to change the times of your room, what would you do? Would you give a longer day cycle or a longer night cycle to achieve that? And I think the best option there would just be a longer night cycle to get it back on the proper 12-12 cycle that suits your schedule.
Same thing, even after power outages, I don't worry about lighting up my flower room at all. I was like, fuck it, they're just gonna get more night.
Yeah, just get you running and stuff if you can. That's more important. Do you and a fan versus
yeah, exactly.
Could be like a super cloudy day. I don't know. Or an eclipse. You never know.
Rainy. It's like a rainy day.
Yeah, I don't think one day is going to hurt them, but hey, I don't know. Maybe that's a thing that tells you those plants that hermit out in that one day are not worth keeping around.
And I've done it lots. I've done it several times. I'll say that several times, and they're fine for days.
For the most part, our genetics are very stable that we run, except for maybe new ones that we haven't ran yet, or Gorilla Glue. That fucking bitch is very sensitive, but they're stable. They can handle that extra hour of night. So. That's what
I literally just found a huge light leak on one of the tops of my tents. One of the spouts was not totally closed up all the way. And we're like week 5 right now. So that's been like that the whole time. So I haven't found anything problematic with any of the plants that, we have on that side of the tent. So they're all a bunch of chems and like 2 pink death bubbas. And so I'm thinking they're okay. I haven't seen anything that's iffy, so I closed it up and we'll see. But shit happens sometimes and you miss things. So.
Yep.
That just means it was like that the other 3 harvests. So
turn the water on, you'll be like, I'll be right back.
This one here, overflowing it every time.
Whoa, throwing Nutri under the bus like that.
Always. I have to put a timer on now just because he overflows shit.
That's good practice.
I overflowed a bucket the other day. Well, I swapped out my membrane and I wanted to flush it, make sure all that iron came out. So I left it in a 5-gallon bucket. I was going to come back in like 30 minutes. Well,
30 minutes?
Luckily, I came back like 2 hours later. And luckily, all my shit's located in the utility room, and whoever built it right. So, like, when it overflows, it'll just drain right to the sump hole thing for the house. A big hole in the ground,
Yeah.
And so it's just a stream.
Well, that's good.
But then there's like some on the top, so I had to vacuum that up. But then I had a 5-gallon bucket of probably crappy water.
It happens.
Oh, I'm getting a free Stealth RO 300.
Nice.
Ooh.
So I'm going to turn this RO 150. I'm going to add a DI chamber for my fish water. So it goes to 0 ppm.
Oh.
Yeah.
The fish get better treatment than the plants.
The fish need it. The fish are bullshit. They're very finicky.
Are they conscious though, like plants are?
I don't think the fish are.
Continue the topic.
You like that callback thing, man? Dad, let's go.
I was wondering if we were gonna reach out and touch that again. So
just with one little finger.
That was awesome.
He can't help himself.
No, I really can't.
I think I found a couple.
Much fun this weekend coming up, guys.
For real.
I cannot wait, man.
I hope to see everybody there, Lansing.
What time? Saturday?
12
to 6, noon to 6 p.m. at the Fledge.
Let me see if that Petco has a 20 gal. I found my 20 gal was leaking.
Does that mean you're gonna come Saturday too?
Yeah, I'll kill 2 birds.
Oh, cool. Well, you know what I need. I'll text you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Let me know.
By there too, though.
Or we're coming by your place. Either way, one way or
Yeah, you guys are swinging up.
Oh, but I gotta work that day, so I gotta watch what I do. I gotta leave.
I don't. That's the cool part.
I do.
It'll be the 18th, right?
What day?
Pledge.
What day?
I think it's the 18th.
Saturday.
Yes, it's the 18th. Saturday the 18th.
Yep.
The Fledge.
The Fledge. Yeah.
12 p.m. 12 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah, for Crow will be there. Red will be there.
Yes.
Tara
Big
will be
Man
there.
Dan. Indica
I'll be there.
Indica B.
Indica will be there.
Yes.
It's gonna be a great time.
He's gonna be
Great
there.
time.
I'm
I might get my butt up there.
I think he's gonna have Spartan made RSO.
He is. It's his product, but I just processed it.
Yeah, process.
That's awesome. Love it. Can't
Yeah,
wait.
we should
It's
see
gonna
if
be
we
good.
get booths all together.
That would be so
That'd be
sweet.
cool.
Yeah.
That would be so sweet, but that's
Pre-record one Saturday night, get it out of the way, you know.
That's awesome.
Third Eye, you hearing us?
Yeah, it's
I
gonna
like
be
that they do have so much seating in the middle. Like it
I
makes it.
love that too.
Mhm.
I really do. I love that everybody's on the outsides and then on the up, and then you have seating in the middle. It's
I got some
perfect.
board games I could bring.
Yeah, there's lots of
Oh.
stuff to do there.
Tickets are
Risk? Does anybody want to play Risk?
I mean,
Play Risk.
Like
we might have
Uno
to
might
set
be
it up
good.
at my second table, but yes.
Yeah, we'll use that then.
Yeah, I'll bring
It'll
both.
bring people.
I've been
I'll
playing.
be like, damn, look at this dude talking about me.
I want to play.
Taking over the entire world.
He came here and he conquered.
North
Yeah,
America
what
is
is
worth
that?
1 gram.
3 cannons. That's 3 cannons on one continent. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be a great time.
I was thinking more like the game of Sorry, maybe. Would
Oh,
be
that's a
good.
fun game too.
Uno.
I don't have any kid games like that. I
Well,
got
we only
yeah.
have so much time and
Throwing
concentration with this
Throwing
type
shade
of.
in the kid game.
It's okay. He's just scared. I get it.
I wonder who the
Yahtzee,
food trucks are
yeah, he
going to be.
likes price,
Do you know who the
Yahtzee.
food trucks
Maybe
are
a
gonna
little Uno.
I love
Uno.
Uno.
Yeah.
There, see,
Well, if
now
we're
we
gonna
got
play
that
that,
one.
I can bring some cards and we can play War.
I can bring some
Oh,
I
cards.
also
there's
like
play-
that.
I
Go
bring some
fish,
cards and
maybe?
play Magic.
Play some euchre.
Or we can play Magic. I got my
I like
commander
that
deck.
Dank Man Jan.
Do
Sign
you?
me up.
I got my
For the
commander.
Some
Imperium.
direction for euchre.
Huh?
I
Your
still need
fucking
direction for
trees.
It's
euchre.
like
trees
spades. You
stand
can
no
play spades, you can
chance.
play
Tara
euchre.
needs the buddy system for
Yeah.
euchre.
Well, you can laugh
Trees
now all
against
you want.
future space marines.
Y'all have been
Yeah.
around me playing euchre. I suck.
Let's
Mother
play.
Nature's pretty tough.
I'm
Hey,
pretty
Becca, do you
sure
know what the
Spartan
food
kicked
trucks
my
are this
ass the
weekend?
last game of euchre I played. Fucking sucks. I still have that fucking championship doobie. I still got that fucking little thing, remember?
Do you?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I swear to God, I still got that little midget thing.
That's
we were supposed
hilarious.
That's so
We were
funny.
supposed to have a rematch one time and smoke it, but
That was South Haven.
we played.
Sounds like it's about time for that maybe this weekend.
Frank, he's calling you
Frank's,
out.
Frank's not here yet. Frank's in.
Yeah,
wait,
Frank.
wait.
Frank was
Where's
the one
Frank?
that rolled that.
Virginia now
Yeah.
or North Carolina? I can't remember.
I
where
thought it'd be fun
He's
if we
definitely not.
did a Mission
Frank!
Bros casino run.
Casino run.
Yeah, we had a casino once.
It's all at a blackjack
Or
table.
like
a lot of money.
which one?
I don't know.
Battle
We
Creek.
find the nicest one.
The
Oh,
nicest.
the nicest one.
Does that mean they're gonna comp us?
Well, you don't want to go to the crappy casino. You
I
get
don't know
crappy
anything about
vibe.
them.
I
Yeah,
tell
we're
you,
bad.
Soaring
It's pretty
Eagle.
near,
I have
though.
really good luck
Nice.
at that Soaring Eagle casino in Mount.
I want to
Pleasant.
do slots,
Soaring
Texas
Eagle's pretty
Hold'em.
decent.
Yeah, I do good there.
I might want to throw a ball in roulette. But we'll see.
They got
Oh, and what's that dice one? Craps?
Traps, yeah.
Oh, that
Nobody
one
really
looks
knows
fun.
how to play
That's
that.
a big money game.
It doesn't matter, Becca. It's you get to roll the dice, and it's like woo.
You get to feel awesome.
7 or
And then,
11.
and then
Man.
you look at the
If you ever wanna
the
feel
girl,
hey-
and you're like, did I win?
She says some crazy name for the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
They've all got a special name. Every combination.
You either get serotonin or depression, and that's the result.
The last time I went to a casino, I was 19, and we were driving over to Windsor just because that was the only legal way.
Yeah.
Actually, no, I take that back. We stayed at one of them for the Detroit Cannabis Cup. We stayed down there. I think it was at one of the casinos, but I don't know. I'm not a casino guy, so I didn't spend any money there, but they got my hotel room invoice, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, I've been to Soaring Eagle and saw Larry the Cable Guy.
Yeah.
And I went to what's that one in Battle Creek? Firekeepers.
Yeah.
I went to
Firekeepers. That one just keeps getting bigger, it seems like. I've been driving down 994 for a long time.
Have you seen their solar panels?
Yeah, they're like
they're like on rotating. It's pretty neat. They're pretty future looking.
I haven't been in their hotel, but it looks pretty damn fancy.
Yeah, I haven't been in any of it.
I
almost bought a house behind there.
That was the thing to do when I was like 19 because I worked up north and there's a bunch of reservation casinos and you could walk at 19. So that was like what we did on our time off. And I was like, I'm only going to spend $40 for this experience, right? Like $40 is all I'm going to put into it. And with that attitude, I did pretty good. I made some low amounts of money.
That's how I do it too. I'll go in there. I go in the get my garbage bag full of pop cans, return them. I'm like, all right, I got $40. I can go in there with $40 and I could win some money, lose some money, whatever. And I'm not mad.
It's about fun and entertainment. That's all. Just
don't
spend your life savings there. You know?
No.
Yeah.
Be responsible. We would go to concerts down at Soaring Eagle, and in between shows, we'd go in, hit the slots, and Trish would hit for like $500-$600, enough to pay for our concerts and everything. That happened several times there, so I'm all about
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's way cool.
That's funny because that's what I did too when I went saw Larry the Cable Guy. Yeah. I sat there and played the slots before while I was waiting, so it gave you something to do while you wait for the shit to start. And
I'm in the bathroom. She's playing slots. I come out. She's like, "I want $500." I'm like, "What?"
Winner.
The thing that kills me about slots though is they fool you because it'll be like, these are the penny slots, and you go over there and it's like, all right, where's the 1 penny button? Because there isn't one. What the fuck?
Yeah, they'll get you, and then you get in there, put your money in, and hit bet max, and you're betting $17.95 a roll.
Yeah, exactly.
Happens so fast. Before you know it, you're.
I liked it back when you could plunk quarters in, just walk around, drop a couple quarters, and that was a long time ago. But that was good times, It's trading good money for bad, so don't do that.
Yeah, that's true. But it's an experience too, so
it
who
is.
cares? You're paying for an experience, but don't get nuts with it.
That's right.
It's fun.
I like poker, man. I really enjoy poker, man. Texas Hold'em poker. So.
Texas Hold'em, baby.
Yeah, man.
I got some nice chips.
I would like to get poker games going. That'd be awesome.
And a table full of shit.
Yeah.
My dog's making noises.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool to have a consumption lounge, Texas Hold'em lounge.
I think
everybody's just sitting around,
where that
smoking doobies or whatever they want. Maybe a pipe.
Bowling alley, kind of,
the bowling alley that's really close to your house. You could just buy that.
That's what I'm saying, the bowling alley. But over here you got some food.
Yeah.
Over here you got a couple poker tables. If you
dude, there's plenty enough room in there.
Poker. That's why it's very big.
In there to set up so we can help medicate.
There's 35 acres behind there too.
There's actually a bowling alley for sale in my town here for sale right now. What they want?
Nobody's going to Ohio. This is Michigan Bros Grow Shop.
We're gonna have to branch out to fucking
your
Ohio
shirt for
nowadays.
God's sake.
Damn it!
It's on your shirt for God's sake.
Nut Tree was like, "You want to start an Ohio grow show kind of thing?" And I was like, "No, what the fuck for?" I was like, "They can come to Michigan."
Yeah.
There's going to be a lot of sorry dispos along the border, man. Come a couple.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
There's going to be a lot of.
It'll shake it up.
I I know everybody at home is like, how long is it going to be before, recreational, actually is in business? And I was like, well, you have your few medical dispensaries already in place. They will semi-cut in half and go rec. So you're going to have to wait for those licenses to go through, probably about 30 to 60 days, maybe 90. So it probably will be like January before, AHA actually gets to go to a dispo rec-wise kind of thing. So,
and I don't see a mad rush there's no, I would not be worried at all if I was in the southern border right now, because
no, not at all. I don't
Michigan
think
is a mature market.
That's another thing that I want to get at. There's plenty to go around.
Well, that and Michigan's a mature market now, or becoming a mature market, and the prices are reflecting that. And that's not going to be. I don't think Ohio's going to compete with those prices anytime soon.
No, Ohio's going to be very expensive for a while. Very, very expensive for a while. Like they still are. So that's, one of the reasons that drove people to Michigan, though, was the other thing. And I hate to say that because, Michigan did have the lower prices and that did drive a lot of people there. So I don't know. I'm hoping that
ounces at $98 right now. Last one I heard.
I've even heard lower than that, and it's disgusting. I don't even want to repeat what
not here.
I took a picture on 994 of a billboard. I think it was on 994 of a billboard that was advertising $50 ounces, and I posted it on Instagram and promptly got the equivalent of a strike because they assumed I was selling those $50 ounces, even though it was text on a billboard.
I hate that.
No.
Yeah, I'm always disagreeing with their decisions.
Absolutely.
No $50 zips here, guys. Sorry.
No $50 here either.
It's a shame.
That's what some people are looking for. So like,
it's true.
No, they are because they say it's all the same thing to them, and there's a few people I know in my direct space that say they can't tell the difference, and I'm like, well, I beg to differ.
Well, that's
a lot of people drink Bud Light,
True.
Not to call out one brand, but
they drink Busch Light around here. Any of
them. Name one,
So
but it's good. It's still access. It's giving,
and I'm okay with that.
Might not have. Yeah, it's
good old Natty Light.
I'm okay. $50 ounces.
If you're gonna drink piss, you might as well
save
money.
You're paying $50 for an ounce. You pay $50 for an ounce. You're gonna get that $50 of an ounce
reflected in the quality.
Yeah, you get what you pay for sure.
Exactly.
But the fun thing about cannabis is there's tolerances, so eventually it's not going to be enough. True. And you're going to have to either buy more of that crap.
I think
half as much of good stuff.
Older crowd that sees the deal in $50 ounces kind of thing, and they're the ones that are going to not benefit because they're getting the shitty weed and they don't realize it. The people with COPD that need medical, cannabis. So I think those are the people that are gonna, not benefit from $50 ounces.
I don't know if anyone's.
I'll tell you guys a funny story. Since I left the Metric, I'm back to doing construction, paint work and stuff. So I'm painting this guy's house, right? And he knows that I recently left the weed game, and I smoke weed basically. And all the other guys on the crew, they're all beer drinkers and stuff. So every day, man, this guy's buying us lunch every day, giving us $50 for lunch and shit. And just real cool dude. He passing out 12 packs to these guys at the end of the day. He comes up to me, gives me pre-rolls, man. Disco weed and shit, I ain't gonna smoke this shit, but I'm motherfucking thankful that this.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, man, he did it like 5-6 times, man. Wow. I got all these nasty ass pre-rolls in my truck. It was a thought that counts,
Hey, you save up and just get me like a half ounce of Red Center Farmers at the end of it. How about that?
Well, I do utilize the doob tubes every once in a while.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
I have a suggestion. What you can use those. Sometimes if you see a homeless guy along the street or something and you're driving, I just usually give it to them. That's what I like to do.
Grayling.
Well, anywhere if you're going out of town or something, or somewhere.
Well, you don't just pass the one you got in your lip out to him.
No, I've done that like
not that one.
Disc golf.
Who wants to hand damn doobies out to
not
homeless
the
people?
glass
I always pass out doobies to homeless people. I was trying.
That was real cool.
I love it, dude.
Yeah, I haven't had that happen to me before, so that was the first, you know.
But that's a nice sentiment that he is at least doing that for you. That's
way cool.
That's at least kindness right there, even if it is dispo for you.
Yeah, I was like, wow, this is some garf-ass shit, man.
Dang, man. Dang, man, the next time I need something painted, I guess I'm going to have to call you, because the last time I heard that professionally done, it was just a cop off hours. And I was like, oh, okay, cool, hi.
Yeah, man, I am totally for hire. So any kind
yeah, no, Dan,
hit them up, especially that northern part of this lower part of Michigan.
We do a lot of recreation vacation homes up here for a lot of the southern folks.
Oh, I bet.
Keeping us employed. Matter of fact, we're still painting outside of houses. I got to paint an outside of house tomorrow. So
it's gonna be a beautiful week. At least where I'm at.
Locked right out, man. We can squeeze another one in mid-November.
Yeah. Why not? You know.
I was looking back at my pictures. This time last year, there was 18 inches of snow up there.
I was loving life.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you were snowmobiling. It's so early. I remember that.
Till I can snowmobile in the yard, but I can't snowmobile on the trails till December.
Yeah.
Till then, whatever. I would love to see it come for the hunters and then stay. Because when I was a kid, man, it used to get here about the 15th, and then it was here till April. Now it gets here at the 15th. It's gone on the 17th, and we don't see it till the 28th of December.
Yeah.
It's vicious, man. It's bad for the ski resorts around.
Oh, dude,
for the motels. It's a terrible thing. So.
I can't imagine those business models over the last 5-10 years in comparison to the 20, 30
Yeah, and even the big resorts that can blow snow, they can't maintain the snow because the temps just aren't holding it. So it's a shame.
Yeah, seasons seem to be shrinking.
Mm-hmm. Gaylord used to get annual 100 inches of snow.
What?
Hit. Yeah.
Wow.
A total accumulation.
Yeah, but still, that's crazy.
Yeah, not at once. Can you imagine?
That's true story.
Well, when we went up to Sault Ste. Marie, that was tremendous to me and him. We were blown away by that much snow in somebody's front yard. I mean, we couldn't believe that was all piled up there. And I was like, what the fuck? But there ain't nowhere to put it, so that's where we put it in the front yard. So
craziest thing I saw was up in Marquette, and it was a really bad snow year. And you'd be driving down the main road through downtown Marquette, and the snow from the plows was piled so high on the sidewalks you could not see the houses on the sides of the roads. That's how much snow there was. Which, I mean, I don't know, 12 feet or something like that piled up.
Yeah, it was a lot when we were in Saint Sault Marie.
It was at least 8-10.
Yeah, it was a lot.
So, yeah, there was some big piles.
Everybody was on snowmobiles, and it was crazy. It's a different way of life up there. That was really cool to see, though. And everybody's out and about. They're not inside. And I think I love that most. About the north.
You stop moving, you freeze.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. But, they're not all hunkered down in the houses. They're still out and about, kind of thing, is what I was getting to. So
yeah, you got to be.
Yeah, they're used to
get that cabin fever up here, man.
Oh.
Exciting.
You guys ever do any winter camping? Do we got any camping on this panel?
That sounds fucking awful.
Well, we inadvertently
Detroit. They love winter in a camper. Crazy bastard.
Yeah, I mean, we did two whole winters in northern Michigan in a camper. So
still got a lot of the insulation left in the garage.
Yes, we do.
When we wrapped it around with
it. Definitely. I don't want to so much say that it was it was a different way of living because we didn't have water.
We had to haul water.
We had to haul water in every day.
You guys are pretty near Amish.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even I think the Amish might have had it better than us. They didn't have to go to a bathhouse. We went to a bathhouse, and I would haul our heater over to the bathhouse so I could take a shower and not freeze to death, putting my coveralls back on, which was my Carhartt coveralls.
Things you did for the sake of weed.
You know what? That is the thing. The things I did for the sake of cannabis. And you know what? I did it and I loved it. 100% every minute of it, and I would never change a thing. I did love everything.
Neither would I.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Nothing I have done I regret. I loved it. It was a great experience. Seriously, it was awesome. It was a little shitty at times, but awesome in the long run.
Hey, even for those guys, those super, popped collar investors that got into this, whatever point they have, it's even for them, it's an uphill battle. You know what I mean? It might be a less of one for them than it was for some of us.
They probably never lived in a fucking camper. So.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But for now, though, like
everybody has sacrifices, so
yeah,
like you got it.
Sacrifice for me was worth it. It was worth it. I needed to do it for myself. So at the time of my life, coming out of my divorce, it was great.
Hardcore.
Definitely learned so much there at Freedom Green. I learned so much about the life and everything about commercial growing and what I like and don't like about things.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
Huh?
We call it the good, the bad, the ugly.
Yep, I did.
All that,
but you know what? That's probably could be said about every job, though. Honestly,
absolutely.
The good, the bad, the ugly.
I'm not talking job, just the experience.
Yeah,
did it turn from a passion like what you guys did you guys kind of what's the word?
I stepped back from my production at home, shut my flower room down. Yeah.
So for me, I just did pre-rolls, so I didn't get into the garden. I did get in the garden a couple times at Classic Roots, but not as much as
he didn't. I don't think he felt what Dan and I are talking about.
Exactly. I didn't have that whole aspect there.
Spartan or baked on a commercial level.
I mean,
he's seen it, but he wasn't actively like.
Tara, can you describe that feeling? Like, what was it that just drove you to drive yourself away?
My whole aspect of doing what I did was to accomplish something. And, I felt like, by the time that I left Freedom Green, that I honestly had accomplished what I wanted to do. I never, ever thought about doing anything commercial. I always wanted to just come to Michigan and be a caregiver. So doing the commercial level of growing was like way over what I had even exceeded wanting to do. So to achieve that, I'm way good. I'm there. I did it. It's great. I learned a ton. I learned a lot of things I don't want to do in life, carrying on out. But I learned, my work ethic really came through in this aspect in my life, and it still shines wherever I go. So, cleaning is key in a commercial level, cannabis business. And you know what? I got pictures with me and my wire brush, and I love every minute of it.
Tara, you nailed it on the head right there, because I don't think there's anything that makes a better cannabis grower than a work ethic, because it's the late nights, the early mornings, the random times, the disruptions that could be devastating to your grow, the failed attempts, the bugs, the mildew, that just all these things that can get to you. And if you can get through all of that and still somehow persist to be here today, I mean, there's got to be a big part of that's work ethic to still be successful.
Oh, definitely. There people younger than me don't have, and Becca, you're excluded, and Bake too. You're excluded from this, but people younger than me, the work ethic is gone. It's not there. And one thing
is Nuttree excluded isn't he younger than you?
He is younger than me, but not by much. But I did say this to him tonight. I honestly have never worked harder in all my life, like really worked hard, than I have over the past 5 years. Now, I've always worked in a hospital, setting kind of situation. I've always worked hard, but what I've done over the past 4 or 5 years, I have worked hard. So I am very satisfied with what I've done. I'm accomplished in my eyes. I did what I set out to do. I learned so much. Wow. Who could have gotten where I am in the short amount of time that I did, unless you have drive? So I had it, I'm doing it, and I'm still doing it. And wait till you see what's to come.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Inspiration.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and it was Michigan Bros Grow Show that got me where I was. If it wasn't for you guys, the whole panel, past, present, forward, I wouldn't be where I am.
And the touch base on that, Tara, the Bro Show also has brought a lot of positivity in the cannabis world to my life. And I would like to thank all the panel members, new and old, here and gone. Thank you all for accepting me and my faults and everything, and keeping me on as a panel member.
Hey, you're here to carry that torch, man, and you deserve it.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
100%.
Just don't leave Michigan, because you got a timer ticking once you leave Michigan, and then you're not allowed anymore.
There was a time I wanted to move to Florida.
Gross.
I love the ocean.
You know the sad part is that's a fucking Michigan move right there.
I know.
Like a bunch of Michigan people do that shit.
It's called taxes, and we have them here, and you guys don't down there. And as long as we stay out of Michigan for more than half the year, they don't charge us.
Used to a peninsula, like we need to
Still
be
evens out.
Yeah,
Becca just nailed it. Becca just.
Well, that's the weird part.
We're all peninsula people, man.
Yeah, that's what I tell people. Like, it's just a peninsula that gets similar weather patterns, kind of without hurricanes.
Yeah.
Michigan does not have salty water. Hello.
No,
got
but
salty
carry
people
around a
Salt water has cooler fish. Hello, cool fish.
There's a lot of salt
I
like
know, there's
bumper
cool fish
stickers
in
up here. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Cool fish in Michigan.
I went to the local pest station today to get some live bacteria.
The one on Michigan Ave?
Yep.
Okay.
And this lady was pretty, very quick, abrasive. I'm like, oh, you got Dr. Tim's, which is a popular brand of it. She knew I was talking about it. She's like, nope, but we have these other ones. So I was like, let me see that one. I was like, cool, I'll take that one. It looks like the same crap. I'm in the car. It's expired by a year and a couple months.
Oh.
So I gotta take it back.
A year? Oh my god.
Yeah, like you told me some expired. I don't understand this. Like it happens all the time. First it was the local grocery store. Now it's that store.
I bought some beer like that was expired when we were in Iowa. I was at her daughter's house, and
old skunky.
I opened one of them and had it, and was like, man,
He's
this
like,
doesn't taste right. I was like, what's the date? And I called them, and they were able to return it.
Oh, they totally returned it.
They were cool.
They were really nice about it too.
They were like, sorry.
Yeah.
I had a drink at like a family party once, and it was like a Oberon or something, but it was an Oberon that had been sitting there since like the year before.
Oh
my
god!
I immediately could tell, and I had a couple sips of it, and that was enough to kind of throw my stomach off for like the next, the rest of the day.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, that would be good.
The nose. I don't know if there's a word for like the tongue tells or something like
that. Sounds like a snitch.
Shit, you're right.
I like that acronym. New acronym.
The tongue tastes the tongue.
There you go. That's better.
Yeah, that's too much fermented, man. That's too much.
Yeah.
Fucking stoned. Good night.
Same thing.
Man, I was down in the flower room today, and I was stoked to check out the Limelight Cross, the Limelight Vortex. They're looking nice.
Oh, I bet.
On the frost up. They're small, but they look nice because I put two in the same pot.
But what do you mean they're small? Just the structure.
They're big plant. No, they're big. I can tell they're going to be a big plant, but I jammed 2 in the same pot just so I could hunt a little bit more. And
right on.
You said you had one that was like overshadowing completely the other, right? Is that one? Do you think it's going to be a male?
No, they're both full flower.
Oh, okay.
I've noticed
the way
a
you were
difference
talking
in my
made
veg plants.
Oh, you're talking about? No, I think you might have been talking about the ones in my veg, and
Maybe.
that one I don't know yet.
Okay.
Sorry. I was just saying, my sit pots that I have in veg, I've noticed that the plants are smaller than compared to my one gals that have just the normal pots on the bottom. I have like 6 that are in sit pot, small one gal sit pots. I was just trying them just to see what they would do. But I've noticed that every one that are in the sit pots are smaller than my regular one gal veg pots.
And the sip containers are 1 gals as well?
Yep. I know. I was a bit, I just noticed it actually. I was like, what are all you bitches doing small? And all you all over here are okay. And so once I like divvied everybody up over here, I was like, they're just the sip pots that are on the small level. So I was like,
Well, I'd give them some time. There might be it's growing roots right now, and they're not setting that much foliage at the time. But once they
I don't know, because everybody's like overgrown on the other aspect of it that I'm getting ready to cut everybody back.
With it being a sip, it could be heavier with the water on the bottom, so they're not pushing roots as fast because they have a continuous source for.
Okay, that might be it. Okay.
Yeah, because I always, like
they're not looking unhealthy. They're just not catching up with the other ones that are exuberant and big.
As soon as they fill their pot with roots, then they'll go ahead and start pushing biomass.
Okay.
I would assume.
Okay, I'll keep an eye on them.
I was gonna say, have you ever seen? Put it this way: what's the latest you've seen a pot throw or a plant throw roots out of a pot, typically the bottom, in flower? In flower. Because I'm put it this way, I'm over 3 weeks, close to 4 weeks into flower on one, let's put it 2 different strains, and they're in 15-gallon pots. They're both under their own lights. And I walked in there today, and one of them has a maybe 5-inch taproot, if you will, a root just out of the pot, just hanging out of the bottom, like a hole in the bottom of the pot, this little sidle. It's just looking for. I'm like, I'm feeding you. It's not. You're not dry. Chill out, dude. Like.
But that's so funny. That makes me feel like I need to give it another little area to come up. Like if you would.
I guess like I need to put a tray under it or something.
Give it another.
Like, sorry, I don't know. You're just looking.
It's still looking, isn't it?
Yeah. I don't know. It's just, and it's a beautiful, bright white, 5-inch long root, and it's like, little hairs on it. Nothing.
Cut it.
I was gonna say cut it in half and take it off and root it off somewhere else.
I just cut it off and let it, let the roots direct back into the media, because it's the air. It's going to air prune eventually, probably.
Yeah, it's definitely going to air prune.
They come back tomorrow. It's going to be all browned up.
Yeah, 100%, dude. 100%. I couldn't believe seeing that thing.
It depends.
You're way back there, bud.
Variables, a plastic pot or your air pruning. Them roots are going to push through it. Air prune pot a lot faster, and producing a lot more frequent, let's say.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. The only time I've seen this happen before this aggressively was when I was growing in smart pots, but in trays, and the trays were, there's like water sitting in those like
wet.
That's when it happens to me.
So they're looking for it, right, and they find it, and so they keep growing.
That's when it happens to me.
Okay.
Well, the water keeps them wet, so they don't dry out and die too. So if they have a water source to hang out in, they can hang out
for sure. That's why Dankman, Dan's totally right. Like I'm gonna go in there tomorrow, and this thing's gonna be shriveled up and brown and looking like a little tiny shrimp that died a year ago, and like
yeah, it's fast how quick they grow.
Yeah, and I think that's completely fine. You said something about, I swear, Spartan, you said something about trimming it and throwing it back in the root mass, but
I did.
You okay?
Yeah,
There's-
I said cut it too. Yeah, I agree.
yeah, I think you both did. Then those roots are full of nutrients, right? And I've talked about throwing leaves into my smoothies, like just a fruit, frozen fruit smoothie. Throw a handful of like recently trimmed cannabis leaves from your garden. It's like just adds a whole different blend of nutrients in there. I think it's a good thing. What about roots?
Traditionally, they're made into a tea.
Okay.
You boil them down.
But yeah, you could dry them and powder them into a smoothie if you wanted to. You could just dry them out real dry, cut them up into a blender, and then you have a powder you can just store and put a little bit into each one of your smoothies in the morning if you want to.
So you basically powderize them.
Yeah, it's like
that's a word.
Well, it's root, so you got to do something to break it up so it's easier to digest.
Yeah. Makes sense. I like that. Having just like a little, maybe like a little teaspoon or tablespoon of cannabis roots.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Do the same thing with dandelions.
Wait, am I going to start digging holes in my yard just for dandelion roots, or are you talking just the flower?
You don't want to aerate your yard? I'm talking about the root.
Machines
talking about the root of your dandelion. Yeah, dandelion root. It's super
Okay.
medicinal, super
The greens
I'm
are
just checking, dude. I'm just
Yeah,
checking.
actually, the whole dandelion, including the flowers. Yeah, you can eat all of it.
I mean, I knew about the stuff above the. He's back, ladies and gentlemen.
It's the last dandelion.
Did he get a hold of some Pedro caps?
Good night, dandelions.
No, that's what fucking I do when Spartan starts going on his dandelions.
Good night.
It's from Ice Age, but we're out of time. Everyone have a good night.
Good night, everybody.